Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So a couple of days ago, Nintendo did their Nintendo Direct, and they announced their new expansion pack for their online service. Now, when Nintendo first started charging for online, I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed in that. I I hate the idea of paying for online services. I already pay for the internet. These companies make enough money that we paying for them to host their own servers seems like a joke to me. But with their initial online service pack, I wasn't too upset about paying for that because it came with their sort of Nintendo Classic and Super Nintendo Classic games. Not all of them, but they had little packs that they came out with so you could play those old games on it, which is good. Um, I was honestly one of my biggest gripes with Nintendo is that they don't make enough product. So you have to be really early to get your hands on, you know, their, their stuff. Having these older games, access to them this way so you don't need physical copies is great because physical copies of these older games are getting really, really expensive. Not to mention, if you don't have the console, you need to get that too. With their new expansion to their online service that they're offering, it's a Sega Genesis game collection and then some N64 games that are out now, assuming more are coming later. But there's a big problem with this N64 pack. The games aren't very good. Like, the games themselves are good games, but they're not emulated well at all. And I really don't understand how something like this could happen. With Nintendo being the company that they are, they should have noticed these kind of issues. Just as an example, the only one I've played so far is Ocarina of Time. Um, I played that just because honestly I probably have more hours in that than any other N64 game, so I'd be able to compare the two a lot easier. It's really not good. Like, the character models themselves, obviously there are some improvements. Some of the textures look better, but all of the textures should look better, and they don't. There's some pictures floating around of that water temple level as adult Link, where you fight Shadow Link in that room with the tree in the middle. And I remember as a kid playing that, going through that fight scene and being amazed by it because like the reflections in the water, like the room itself looked kind of eerie. The water looks awful. It almost looks like a static image. There is no reflection at all. It's really disappointing to see that a game that's a game at this point that's old enough to drink. I'm pretty sure that's a 25-year-old game at this point. And you somehow managed to make it worse than it looked when it came out on the N64. It doesn't make any sense to me. And there's a really easy solution around this that Nintendo needs to embrace. Let your fans work on these products. It's the same thing that Minecraft did. That you had people who made incredible maps and incredible works within Minecraft, and Mojang themselves sought these people out and hired them to make official maps for Microsoft. Nintendo needs to do that. Instead of just taking these people who make these fan-made games or these emulators and suing them into bankruptcy. Sure, have them stop their project, but hire them as official employees so they can make these emulators, so they can run good. I mean, these are people who want to play these games, and they're coding them themselves because Nintendo as a company won't release new products or won't release good versions of their old products. Unless you're a really big fan of Nintendo, don't get this new expansion. Wait. Wait for it to get improved, because right now, the way it is, the input lag is so bad. It seems like a cash grab. Now, I don't think that it's going to stay this way. I do think it's going to improve, but it's not worth the money at this point. And I'll still stand by it that the quintessential remake of Ocarina of Time is the 3DS version. If you can get that, get it. If all you want for the N64 pack is Ocarina, just get the version on 3DS. It actually runs good, it looks good. It just do that. Don't get this on the Switch. Give it a couple of months at a minimum. It's not worth it right now. Don't bother.